Morning, everybody. It is 8:25 a.m. It is July 23rd. Welcome to my channel. Yesterday, we had a market that I thought it would do what it did. Um, you followed me yesterday. You listened to what I said. I said that we should expect a bounce today. That's expected. And then I said we shouldn't really go all out and break out. We're probably going to digest the sell-off. All right. And we tried to go higher, but yesterday, during the market internals that I look at, really didn't have a large move happening. So, and here we are. We're kind of moving sideways after a little bounce, right? And today we have Tesla and Google Alphabet earnings after the close. Okay. So what we're doing is we're kind of like digesting this sell-off. But remember, we got a lot of earnings to come. And July is usually bullish, right? But now we have earnings. So got very key levels to look at today. So that's just kind of going on, right? Now, early on in the middle of the night, the market was down. Then it got bought up. Now it's at the middle of the range, which is pretty much what I would expect right now because you have uncertainty with earnings with Tesla and Google today. And now we're at the middle of the range, inside yesterday's range. So that's what's going on there. So without further ado, welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use volume profile, market profile to find structure in these markets, along with supply and demand, gamma exposure levels, the most traded price of the year, the month, the week, and the preceding day. Just gives me my edge. This is my edge, okay? So everyone that wants to find an edge, this is mine. All right, that's why I'm sharing it with everybody here on my channel. Hopefully, can get some market profile, volume profile fans out there because it's really, I like how it structures data. All right, that's why I like it. It can structure data for me that I can just look at it and come up with plans. All right, so hopefully you have a cup of coffee and you join me every day and I give you the update. All right, I give you a summary of what's going on yesterday, what's going on this morning, what news is coming, what news is out, economic calendar. We go over daily charts. We go over usually at around 8:30 today. Going forward on Tuesdays, I'm going to be doing 8:25. I have to get my daughter to daycare on Tuesdays. So that's the only day I'm going to do 8:25 a.m. Other than that, it's all 8:10 a.m. But today, around probably 8:40, 8:45 around, we'll go over scenarios long and short for the Nasdaq and the ES. Okay, and then for me, once I do that analysis, okay, the market opens. Now new information comes available when the market opens with the market internals. What's moving, what's strong, what's weak, right? So that's a whole nother level of stuff that I look at, right? Because it's new information. I don't know what's going to happen today, right? So, but what you guys have with me every morning is a solid process that I do every day, okay? And hopefully you get something out of it, all right? Now, if you're new, anybody can listen to me in the beginning of the markets and understand what I'm talking about. But then when we jump into, volume profile, market profile, it's a little advanced. But get over that learning curve and trust me, you'll enjoy it. Okay, so why don't we get right into the watch lists here? All right, we'll get right into the watch lists. The futures here, let's do it. And let's see who's leading the pack. We got a VIX leading the pack. It's only up 0.54. VIX was at 16 yesterday. All right, it's at like it's called 15 right now. Gold's up 0.48. 30-year bonds are being bought. Should send yields lower. Dollar's up a little bit. The Dow is down 0.03. ES down 0.07. Ether, I saw Ether's ETFs have been improved. Down 0.16. Nasdaq's down 0.25. Russell's down 0.36. 10-year yield is down 0.45, like I just said, because now we're after 820. Silver's down 0.50. Crude's down 0.71. Crude's doing exactly what I thought. It's kind of just taking a break. Okay. In China, a very large crude importer. It's just the economy's not doing great, so that's hurting it a little bit. Now Bitcoin's down 2.5%. Okay, still holding over 60K. All right, that's what's going on there. Now move over to the Mag 7 Plus. All right. So we got GE reported earnings. They beat. They're up 3.23%. Okay. Tesla, they report after the close. They're up 1.34%. Amazon's up 0.25. All right, now we're going to move down to some laggards here. Netflix down 0.31, Broadcom down 0.35, Nvidia down 0.45. Coinbase actually got an upgrade, but because Bitcoin's down, see, it's usually lock and step with Bitcoin. That should be down usually 1.5%, 2% with Bitcoin, but it got an upgrade today. I believe the price is 345. We can check it out later. AMD. AMD is down 1.04%. That is AMD is just a crazy stock as of late. I think it went up to like 180 something last week, and it's already back down to 154. All right, that's what's going on there. All right, move on to the top sector stocks. Top sector stocks. And what do we got here? Qualcomm got an upgrade. All right, they're up 0.63. Salesforce up 0.46. Eli Lilly up 0.37. Walmart's pretty much flat. All right, laggards. Johnson & Johnson got a downgrade. Disney. Woo. Why is Disney down? They didn't report earnings today. Let's see here. Something I didn't see. Comcast Pearl Olympics bet for boosting Peacocks. Okay, I don't know why they're down like that yet. All right, usually I do know. Now, UPS reported earnings and they missed, and guidance was low. That is a stock. I did take a stab at it a while ago. Wow. It made a move from 52-week lows like a week ago. This thing just got shattered. It's back to a key support level. So UPS is just not. It's kind of showing the real economy is not great. So shipping wise, okay. So that's what's going on there. Now let's look at our swing trade list here. All right, swing trade list. Spotify had earnings. They're up 13.57%. Good for Spotify. They showed revenue increases. All right, this is, I believe, Sherwin-Williams. Did they report earnings? They probably did. Yes, they did. Sherwin-Williams had earnings beats there. All right, and I think that's Make My Trip up 3.77%. GM reported earnings. They're up 2.97. Philip Morris up 2.17. Cloudflare's up 1.72. I believe that is Skechers up 1.6. Now CrowdStrike, they got sold off yesterday. Those downgrades. I saw Kathy Woods bought some. They're up 1.6. Okay. Coca-Cola reported earnings. And then for solar is up 0.8. All right, let's look at some laggards here. I think that's Harley Davidson. Down 0.297%. Riot down 2.78 with Bitcoin. Texas Instruments down 2.73%. I think that is Genuine Auto Parts down 2.62. Bitcoin ETF down 2.59. Mara's down 2.59. MicroStrategy's down 2.45. Now they're splitting 10-1. When is that happening? August 8th. August 8th. All right, so a bunch of laggards, a little bit of laggards here. Roblox down. American Airlines, or that might be Alcoa. I can't remember now. I think it's Alcoa. FedEx in sympathy with UPS is down. Let's see, Baba's down. Hood, Intel. Okay, that's about it for those. Let's go back to these top sectors. Oop, that's not what I wanted. All right, let's go to sectors. Let's see what's moving the markets. All right. Now, when basic materials, and I believe that's Sherwin-Williams, is leading the pack, that is not a good sign. That's usually risk off. Then you got healthcare, followed by staples. This is all risk off. All right. Yeah, it's risk off. So technology is down, right? That's 32% of the S&P. Communications is down It's down 0.27. All right, Sherman Williams. Semiconductors down 0.8. That's usually a risk off, right? So those are pulling back a little bit. Now that just tells me what's happening now, right? We could open up and semis could lead the pack. So I don't really know. So that's just what we're analyzing right now, right? All right. So why don't we get into news? All right, economic calendar. Boom. All right, let's look at it. We got existing home sales today at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Now that could cause a little pop. Now if I see something early I like around 9:40, I'm going to be in a trade. But if I'm getting close to 10, I'm not going to do anything till probably 10:05, 10:10 to let that whatever happens with that. I don't want to be in a trade to get whip me out. All right, that's really all we got. All right, today 10 a.m. We could do a 1 star here. Let's see what else we have. Richmond Fed. All right, so you got other stuff dropping at the same time. That's why I'd stay away. Stay away here. You got a 2-year note auction at 1 p.m. All right, that's that. Now let's look at some things I just talked about. General Motors stock soared 4.9% after the auto giant beat second quarter profit. Coca-Cola is up 1.4% after the giant raised its annual organic sales and profit forecasts. UPS stock fell 8.1%. I told you about that. Spotify 13%, like I just said. Let's see. GE talked about that already. All right, that's really about there. The juice got anything? I don't think the juice got anything right now for us. Nothing there, really. Nothing there. What else? Upgrades and downgrades. Let's look at those. All right, let's just do a little refresher here. Okay, so upgrades. There's the Coinbase upgrade. Yep, just like I said, it was upgraded from a neutral to a buy and a price target of 345. Okay, 345. Krispy Kreme got an upgrade from a hold to a buy of a price target of 14. All right, let's see here. Skechers got an upgrade from equal weight to overweight from a price target from 60 to 80. That's why Skechers is moving. And Snap, believe it or not, Snap upgraded from underweight to equal weight, price target of 16. So that's the upgrades. Let's go with the downgrades. And downgrades. Let's see here. Here's CrowdStrike got another downgrade with a price target of 302. What else here? Goose. Canada Goose. They got to outperform to market perform. Johnson & Johnson, there's a downgrade there. Outperformed the neutral, price target of 150. Under Armour got a downgrade in price target from 8 to 4. 8 to 4. All right, so let's look at price target changes. Let's look at price target changes, and we're going to go to, I'm going to go to the target raise first. You guys can see that. So target raised. And let's see here. DR Horton, target raised. Qualcomm, target raised. Target raised. Let's see. All right, that's it. Target lowered. Let's look at those. Bristol Myers Squibb, target lowered. That stock's been getting hit pretty hard. CrowdStrike, target lowered. Devon Energy, target lowered. Halliburton, target lowered. Monster Energy Drinks, target lowered. Let's see. Walgreens Boot Alliance, target lowered. All right, now let's go with initiating coverage here. All right. Colgate Palmolive, let's see here. That's a buy. Initiated a buy. Clorox a sell. DoorDash a hold. Kimberly Clark a buy. Procter & Gamble a buy. All right, I think that's it. I think that's all I really wanted to talk about there. Now, earnings. Now, today we know Spotify, UPS, GE, General Motors, Coca-Cola, Freeport McMoran, Lockheed Martin, Comcast, all reported. Philip Morris, all reported this morning. Now we got the big one today: Tesla, Google, Enphase, Visa, Texas Instruments, woof, Seagate, Capital One. Wow, that's some good ones after the close today. Some good ones after the close today. Tomorrow you got Vertiv, AT&T, NextEra Energy, and Boston Scientific, all before the open. All right, that's what we got tomorrow. All right, that's hopefully you guys can see that. All right, now what are we gonna do? We're gonna go right into those daily charts. Let's go right into those daily charts. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Now what you can see, this little trend line. We hit that trend line yesterday. We bounced off this trend line, right? Get a little closer look here. All right, so this is last week's range now is up here. Big range, right? Big range. The middle of it would be around here. Okay, so not much to say yesterday. We kind of just like I said, needed a bounce, and then we close right here. Okay, above the Friday session. Not super bullish, just expect it. Okay, now today we are at 554.18. 554.18, which is right here. You're almost in the middle of yesterday's session, okay? It's just telling you the market doesn't know yet what to do. That's all that is. The market needs more information, okay? More information, please. That's what the market's saying, okay? Now, let's look at the futures. So you can see what I'm saying here, all right? When you look at the futures, right? Look what we're doing here. Third session, what are we? Inside, we're pretty much sideways, right? We're digesting the move down. Okay, down. Then you had yesterday, right? Now today, you have a wick right here, and we're right here at the 20-day simple moving average in the ES, right on the 20-day simple moving average. You touch the 9 EMA daily, right? And you can see if you just want to use moving averages, here's a tip. Look at them; they're sideways. 9 EMA daily sideways. The 20-day simple moving average is flattening out. What does that mean? You're moving sideways. It's all that. It's just telling you right there. Okay. Little tip for you. Now, if you don't want to read the market, you just look at the moving averages. Oh, all right, it's flattened out, moving sideways, right? All right, let's look at the Qs. Here's the Qs. Okay, same thing like I said, right? Let's look at it. Hit this big trend line. Couldn't close. Well, couldn't establish price below this trend line. Look at this. Look at the bounce from this trend line yesterday, right? In the Qs. Okay, 50-day moving average is right here. That has not been touched. All right, now we'll get a little closer. There's last week's range all the way from 473.94, call 474, all the way to 501. That's the range in the Qs last week. That's last week's highs and lows. Okay. Now look what we did yesterday. Opened here, right? Went all the way down, but then we closed here. Made highs up here. Okay. That's what we did. Now, what are we at now? 481. Call it 481.30. Okay, 481.30. No, yeah, 481.30. Wow. Okay. We are in the middle of, almost close to the middle of the range. Okay. That's that weakness in tech and semis. Okay. So what are we doing here? Well, this, you had some selling here, then you gapped down, selling, selling, selling. Pretty much a bounce was going to happen. And that's what happened. Okay, now let's look at the futures to get a clearer view. And look what's happening. See what I mean? Look, sideways. What's the moving 20-day moving average? Well, even though we're below it, it's flattening out. Look at this 90 MA daily. It's kind of sloping down, but it's probably getting ready to flatten out. Okay. Look at that 50-day moving average. Didn't get touched, but people probably brought it up. Okay. So this is what's happening. Sideways. Now, I suspect it can move a little bit when the market closes wherever we are because of Google, all right, and Amazon. Google and Tesla's earnings. Okay. We just have to see. We just have to see. Okay. So that's the daily charts. All right. Hopefully you guys get an understanding what I'm looking at here. Right. You really want to look at this picture because inside each one of these is just price action, but you really want to just look at what is the market doing, right? What are we doing? What's the story, right? So now let's get over to triple headed monster, right? Need to look at that bond market, right? Let's do that. Let's look where we're at. Now, now we're just in a range, right? Okay, we're in a range right here. So bond market doesn't know what it wants yet. Smart money doesn't know what it wants yet. Yes, 10-year yield today is down, but we're in a range, okay? We need to break out. We need to get out of the 4.27 yields and 4.14 yield support, okay? You can see the moving averages, right? Look at the 20-day. It's flat. 90 MA daily is flattening out. 200 days flat. So who knows what's going to happen, right? Right now it's not telling me much, but this is your triple-headed, okay? Triple-headed monster. We got to talk about it. They are important. All right, now let's look at that dollar. What are we looking at the dollar? The dollar's in a range too. Here's the range. 104.49 to 103.62. What's it going to do? Don't know. Look at it. It's right against the 200-day moving average. It's not really the edge. Doesn't give me much edge right now studying it, right? Not at all. So, but the VIX, I like this over 15. We're at 15 right now. All right, so that brings nice volatility into the market, right? 30 days out of fear. So people are starting to hedge a little bit. All right, they're starting to hedge a little bit. So now me coming back to this kind of VIX yesterday, well, I was like, whoa, the market's moving different, right? Because the VIX is higher. It didn't give me certain signals that I was getting previously because it was like fast moving, okay? So I noticed that yesterday. So I have to change according to that VIX how I enter the market. Okay. All right. So I think that's it for that. I think we can move on to the main event, the market profile, the volume profile. Give me a second here while I pull that up for you guys. There we go. And this, my friends, is my edge. Okay? It's my edge. How I read this market. Right? It's really nice to have a way to read the market. It makes me feel comfortable. Okay? It makes me feel at home when I'm looking at this chart. Okay? Now, I'm not a pattern guy, but you can always recognize one. Now, I don't know who's there, but there's definite pattern forming here, and it's a bullish one. Okay? Just happens to be against the key level. Now, I'm going to mention it right now. All right? Anybody want to take a shot at the pattern? I don't know how many people I got watching me right now. Does anybody want to take a shot at the pattern that's forming here? I'm probably only going to give you 5 seconds if there's anybody out there. And if you could type that fast. Does anybody see the pattern? All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Time's up. Inverse head and shoulders. Okay. Inverse head and shoulders. Here's your left shoulder. Right? Here's your right shoulder. Here's your head. Here's your neckline. Okay? It's a bullish pattern. Okay, so that 56.16 is very key. The neckline. Okay, very, very key. This could break. Okay, and you got single prints, and then you got the most traded price of the month right here, 56.40. So now the only thing you got in your way is that monthly VWAP. So I would be scared of that a little bit. And what else do you have? If you look at a daily chart, like I talked about before, 9 AMA dailies in the way, and the 20-day simple moving average is in the way. So people look at those. So that's why we're having a little trouble getting over here. Okay. Now, let's get into our structures. Okay. This is the orderly process that I follow, even if you were not watching. So here's the composite weekly profile of the ES. Now, this profile, here's value area. 70% of the trade happened in this highlighted blue area. Where's price? Right in the value area. Right in value. Okay? So it's starting to look like balance. We're starting to balance. Okay? And it's very important. The most traded price of the week is here now. That is 55.94. Okay? 55.94. Price is above that right now. You also have the most traded price of the month at 56.40. And price is in the middle. So sometimes when you have this kind of setup, it could tend to bounce and ping pong between them. I don't know if that happens. Okay. All right. So let's analyze this setup. Okay. I'm going to make it a little bigger, and we can get into some levels that I'm looking at. Okay. Let's look at this together. Now remember, for anybody who's new, all this is market profile is 30-minute bars. Look at them right there. That's all it is. This is the 30-minute bars. Boop, boop, boop. This is what we've done in the overnight. Opened up here, pushed up, came all the way down. That's the selling, right? That's the selling that happened in like 5:15 in the morning. You were down here, and then it got bought up, came up here, and then pulled back. Okay, so that's all the market profile is, 30-minute bars, and then you just condense it. Boop. That's all it is. It's nothing scary. That's all it is. Okay, so let's look at where we're at. Okay, now yesterday did exactly what I thought it would do. You notice it came right into demand. Look at that, dipped its toe in demand and just whoop, right? It did what I thought. All right, now what happened yesterday was it came up a little bit, pushed back, and what that did is clean the overnight longs here, took them out, and said, boom, and look where, notice where it happened. I just want to show you this. The most traded price of the overnight happened to be right here as well. So all these longs had to be taken care of. Once those longs were taken care of, guess what happened? All the shorts that just brought it down there had the cover, and the market pushed up. Okay, that's what happened yesterday. Okay, now where are we at today? Price is right there. We have yesterday's highs, yesterday's lows, overnight highs, overnight lows. Okay, this is the midpoint of yesterday's range right there. All right, price is here. So price is in a weird area a little bit. All right, so what are we going to look at today? Now, really what it's all about is this 56.16 to 56.18 area. Okay, consider that a weak high. Okay, a weak high. You have single prints from this day of selling. It's emotional selling. You notice this pocket here, not a lot of volume. That should not act as resistance. Should not. When the market's strong, you should rip right through them. Okay, now what happened today? You touched those singles and sold off a little bit, right? So what I'm looking for today is, what do we do with that level? right? Now the problem is you have the 9 EMA daily and the 20-day simple moving average right here, there. You have a month-to-date VWAP right here. Remember, the guard has changed now where sellers are a little bit in control right now. But you have earnings coming up. So let's get into it. All right, let's see if there's any new ones. Now we know we have that 56.16 to 56.18. Sellers got to defend there. Okay, sellers have to defend there. Now the buyers, where do they have to defend? They have to defend this area, right? The most traded price of the week and the overnight low. Okay, right there. That's pretty strength. If it comes down here and does one of these, boop, 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 and guess what? It's going to happen. You're going to test that neckline, and let's see if you can move up here. Okay. So with that being said, let's get right into scenarios. Now, anybody have any questions before I get into scenarios? If you don't, I'm going to keep moving on. So let's do it. All right. Now, let's draw these out again. Okay. This is also, let me say another thing. This is a week low, the overnight low here. Why? Because each day has a value area. Now this is the value area of yesterday. 70% of the trade happened in this area, right? So 70%, and this is value area low yesterday, matches up with the overnight low. That's why it needs to be defended, okay? That's why that needs to be defended. And the most traded price of the week happens to be there. So this area, bulls have to step up. Okay, so I'm going to be looking for this. I want to see how much strength we have. So what am I going to look for? We could push up, push down, come into here, and it's never perfect, but it could come down here and boop, lower high, and then I'm going to look for that to break and see if it can make itself up to 56.40. Okay, now it doesn't always happen like that. It could do one of these too. Okay, but I like that. I like that a lot because now you have shorts up here. Okay. And you get a little bounce. Now, that's what I'm looking at. For immediate bull, I'm looking at that. Now, of course, what can we do? We could break this and come down to this demand zone. Okay. And we could also pop out of here. I don't, it depends on how weak the market is, but I don't like that as much as this right here. I don't like that as much. However, this is the shoulders matches up with this low of that inverse head and shoulders. So this could be viable. I just like this more. Okay. Now, as far as the bear scenario, okay, let's talk about it. We know 56.16 to 56.18 is a key level right here. And I would actually do this with the month-to-date VWAP right in there. Sellers have to defend this area. Okay. Sellers need to defend this area. So in a bearish sense, it's just going to be a little opposite. Okay. So if the market does push up into this 56.18 and it can't clean these single prints, and you hit that month-to-date VWAP and you do this, whoop, lower high, well, go under the most traded price of yesterday, which is right here, and start to crawl down, and you're going to test this weak low right here. If you fall under that and hold, you are going to test yesterday's lows in this demand zone. Okay? And I don't see us falling too bad, just with Google and Tesla's earnings around the corner. But this is definitely a viable scenario. Okay, this move up and then come down. Now the other conservative route would be, okay, I want to see what it does with this weak low. Let's just say you wait for this and you wait for the break, and then let's say we hold. Well, then you can get the move down to here. Okay. Obviously, the better trade location would be up in here. All right, that's the ES scenarios. Now let's move on to the NASDAQ. Boom. There's the NASDAQ, okay? Let's open this up a little bit. And very key thing I want to show you guys in NASDAQ what's going on here. Okay. Now this is the advantage I have putting these things on my charts. Okay. That's the key, right? Having something on your chart that tells you something without you having to study the chart. Now automatically we have the weekly composite profile, volume profile right on the right. Okay. What is this showing me? Look at that bell curve. It's a beautiful bell curve. Guess what that means? Balance. Okay. Now I want to show you a very important level here in the NASDAQ. It's 20,000. It's the most traded price of the last month. Guess what the most traded price of yesterday was? 20,000. Now look at the most traded price of the week is right here. That is 19.9. Okay. Look at price in between these two areas. This is balance, folks. It's balance. And if this price moves up to 20,000, you got ultimate balance. And guess what that means? That means that the Nasdaq is a spring, and it's coiling and coiling and coiling, and it's going to do this or this. Now we have earnings coming, so those can be catalysts, okay? But the Qs are queuing up, no pun intended, for a big move. Now trust me when I say this, a big move is going to happen. Okay, why? Well, if the most traded price of the week and the month are together, it doesn't matter long or short. We know the most trades have happened in this area, and we're holding here. Well, guess what you do if you go this way? Uh-oh. The most contracts traded over the last month and the week are going to be in pain, whoever's short. Whoever's long, going to be in pain if they go this way. So the big move happens. It just has to happen. That's how it works. Okay? That's how it works. All right, so same thing in the Nasdaq yesterday. Look at that. It tipped its toe into this demand zone. Little toe went right into the demand zone, and then boop. Now this wasn't an easy trade because it lollygagged. It went around here around noon and around 11 something, and it was like really weird price action, probably lunch hour, and then it like moseyed its way back up. More the SPY was like that. ES Nasdaq a little more stronger. Okay. Now we have a similar setup here. Now there's a pretty big demand zone here. I mean supply zone in the Nasdaq up here. It's pretty large, and we got rejected yesterday, coming into that supply zone. Also, this 20,000 level could not accept value over it, right? So structure-wise, it was bearish yesterday. You need to break this 20,000, and then you have supply to deal with. So very interesting here. Okay, very interesting. Where are we at? Price is here. Here's Friday. Yesterday's highs, yesterday's lows, right? Overnight high, overnight low. So you got a little baby session inside yesterday's session. That just tells me indecision, right? We're not gapping up. We're not gapping down. We're just in the middle. Okay, now that pattern is here again. Okay, pattern is here again. Let's look at the pattern. Left shoulder, right shoulder, head, and a neckline. Call it 20,000. Okay, call it 20,000. So we can come down here and do this. Boom. Now, thing scary about to me in the Nasdaq is this big supply zone. I don't like longing in the supply zone, but if the market holds in the supply zone, well then we can break it. But I don't like that supply zone. It's a strong one too. It's a big one. So I don't know, right? I don't know. But big moves happen from balance, so that's possible in the cards. Okay, this possibly could be in the cards. Now let's look at some nuance here. All right, so what do we have here? We have a weak high in the overnight, right at this 20,000. Okay, this is your line in the sand, folks. Right here. What has to happen? Well, if you're a bull, what do you want to do? Boop, push up, hold, establish value above that level so you can move up. Right? If you're a bear, You want to defend this level. If they can't establish value and you start doing this and hold under here, well, we're going to go back. That's your line in the sand, folks. Now, I don't know about this level unless I have volume profile on my charts. I have no clue that this is the most traded price. I don't know at all. Don't know the impact. I have no clue. I'm blind to that fact. I don't know. Candlesticks don't show you that. Okay? So, we have our week high here. Again, remember, sellers got to defend that. Bulls got to take it if they want to take it. Now, what do we also have here? We have the most traded price of the week and the overnight lows here. So it's all about that overnight session in the NASDAQ. Okay, now this could get inside here is a chop fest. In this area, whew, no thank you. Chop suey. This is chop suey in this area. I don't want to be involved anywhere in this mess. That's just indecision. Okay, so now that we know this, let's look at scenarios. Okay, let's go for NASDAQ scenarios. It's going to be very similar. We'll go with the bull first. All right, now again, like I said, this level's got to be defended. Most traded price of the week, the overnight low right here. Okay, so what I want to see. Okay, let's say they can't get over this level in the beginning and they fall back. They try to go lower, but it gets defended. Lower high, lower high. Well, that's an inverse head and shoulders, and that neckline, can it break the 20,000 level? And you got single prints up here. Can it get through all that single prints? And there's more single prints up here. That would be huge. I don't know if that has it in it, but you do have a potential for, because look at all these shorts. Short, 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 short. Okay. Now, you also have, you can go through this level, push down into this demand, and it only dipped its toe in it. All right. You could also get lower high, lower high. This is the 50-day moving average in the futures right here, and you can do this too. Now, I don't know how high you go from this level. Okay. I don't know. That's another one. Now, very conservatively, what else could happen? It could just go like, take it out. Let's say it does this. And this big supply zone in here. Remember that? All it's got to do is pull back and hold that level. Hold. Find value acceptance above that level, and then you can make your move. That's also in the cards. And that all depends how strong this market is when we open. Okay? If it's strong, and then this trade's good. If it's I don't know. That's probably not a long for me. Okay? Now, short wise, let's talk about it. We already know what they got to defend. This level for a bear. You have supply, overhead supply here. Okay? So, what do you got to see right off the bat? Let's say off the bat it does this real quickly, but then does this. Well, guess what? You're going to at least test the overnight lows here. And then you could test down here. Okay? Now, another thing too, and this is a little conservative, if the market does do this and you don't not sure yet and it pushes through the overnight low but then starts holding underneath this most traded price of the week, then we're probably going to test yesterday's lows. We might even test the 50-day moving average. Okay? That's in the cards as well. Okay, so what does this mean at the end of the day? Let's look at the story, right? We're doing this. Look at the NASDAQ. I just want to show you, what are we doing? Doing this. Balancing off these sell-off from here, here, here. Now you're balancing off the sell-off. You're accepting the lower prices, which is bearish, all right? But you got the inverse head and shoulders, right? So that's the story, right? Can you hold prices lower, or do you break that level 20,000 to get a little pop up? Now this could happen when Tesla and Google reports as well. So I don't know. I really don't know. But this is what we got. This is the market we have here. Okay. That's it, folks. Hope you enjoyed that content. All right. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe, set an alert. That would mean a lot. If you enjoyed the content, you could always give me a big thumbs up or a like. All right, that'd be much appreciated. And you could always follow me at X uh, at Gonzo719. Okay, so we have a plan today. I actually really like the plan. I'm just hoping the market isn't as hard to read. Now the market was harder in the beginning to read. It was very violent, quick moves. Didn't give you a lot of chance to set up and see things. But then it slowed down. But then it was too slow, and then it went without me yesterday. So we have our plan, okay? And you don't want to be in chop suey. All right, so stay out of that chop suey zone. And I wish everybody luck. Hope everybody has a great day. Stay green. And you can see, I'll be back tomorrow, 8:10 a.m., okay? So, wish everybody good luck. And I'll talk to you tomorrow.